Did you know that the simple act of having a cup of coffee early in the morning can increase your cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 30%? This effect can be even more pronounced at specific times of the day, potentially turning your morning routine into a stress roller coaster. Imagine that, unsuspectingly, while seeking energy, you might inadvertently be triggering a hormonal reaction capable of impacting your mental and physical well-being. The interaction between caffeine and cortisol is more than just a morning habit, it's an intriguing field of biological study. Understanding how these two are connected can help us optimize both our energy and our ability to deal with stress. Given that many people rely on caffeinated drinks to get through the day, unraveling the true relationship between these compounds becomes essential for a better quality of life. Often, the image of coffee as a morning savior masks a distorted perception of its impact. A common idea is that caffeine is a magical boost for limitless energy and disposition, with no consequences other than increased alertness. However, the reality reveals a more complex picture, especially concerning the interaction with cortisol. Cortisol, the hormone often nicknamed the stress hormone, is crucial in regulating numerous bodily functions, including glucose metabolism, immune responses, and sleep-wake cycle. The problem arises when frequent caffeine consumption, which usually occurs during times when natural cortisol levels are already high, like in the mornings and at noon, triggers additional and unwanted increases of this hormone. Many also believe that caffeine-induced stress is easily and quickly reversible. Without understanding, people may repeatedly consume this substance throughout the day, ignoring how it overloads the body's stress response system, especially in situations where an individual is naturally worried or facing challenges at work and in personal life. Another crucial point is the lack of awareness of how caffeine affects each individual differently. Genetics, lifestyle, and health conditions can lead some to experience significant increases in cortisol while others notice no tangible effects. Findings like these suggest that everyone should carefully consider their consumption patterns. Therefore, while caffeine can be a powerful aid if used cautiously, it can also be a double-edged sword. Understanding the misconceptions and correcting its use can be a game-changer for many seeking to balance energy with well-being. The key to understanding the interaction between caffeine and cortisol lies in the mechanisms that occur beneath the surface after ingesting a caffeinated drink. Caffeine acts primarily by blocking adenosine receptors in the brain, promoting a state of alertness. However, this is not its sole effect. The inhibition of adenosine, in turn, may lead to an increase in cortisol release, amplifying the stress response. Studies show that, although many people get used to drinking coffee during traditional cortisol peak times, such as in the morning and afternoon, this practice can reinforce a cycle of physiological and psychological dependence on artificially increasing energy. Additional research highlights that people with different genetic predispositions and hormone levels may experience variations in these effects, a factor often overlooked in general caffeine consumption studies. Over the decades, our relationship with coffee has evolved drastically. From a rare luxury of the elite to a global routine, perceptions of caffeine have also trivialized many of its systemic effects. On the positive side, recognizing the complexities of this interaction can help enhance habits. Examples include adjusting consumption timings, prioritizing staying within natural cortisol levels, and reducing caffeine dependency for energy. Thus, conscious choices about when and how to consume caffeine can transform this interaction from a tacit stress perpetuator into a controlled energy ally. Modifying these habits with research-based information can enable better life balance, without compromising morning motivation or afternoon concentration. The most compelling revelation about the interaction between caffeine and cortisol is the significant impact that timing and awareness have on our body's hormonal responses. Many consumers are surprised to discover that conscious manipulation of intake can not only diminish unwanted cortisol spikes but also optimize their natural levels of energy and focus. Regarding caffeine consumption, the time of day plays a crucial role. Consuming caffeine when our cortisol levels are naturally lower can help maximize focus without overloading the endocrine system. This means enjoying a cup of coffee about an hour after the cortisol peak, which typically happens upon waking, may be more beneficial than drinking it immediately upon getting out of bed. Even more revealing is how small daily adjustments can lead to big differences. For instance, replacing caffeine with antioxidant-rich alternatives during natural cortisol peaks, like herbal teas, can contribute to a state of alertness without triggering secondary effects related to increased cortisol. By understanding and applying these nuances, coffee consumers are empowered to reshape their days. These simple adjustments in consumption patterns can revolutionize how they face daily responsibilities, not only reducing stress but also creating a sense of control over their well-being. More than just satisfying the constant need for energy and instant alertness, these findings suggest a new paradigm. As more individuals begin to adopt these science-based practices, we may be on the brink of a transformation in how the world regards caffeine-based stimulants. We have explored how caffeine and cortisol interact in the body, transforming perceptions of this popular substance. We analyzed common misconceptions and how conscious choices can adjust the dynamics between caffeine consumption and stress response. Emphasizing such nuances is vital for optimized health, allowing for more energy and less stress. As we face the future, these insights guide us to use caffeine as an effective and gentle daily support tool. Now that you better understand how caffeine interacts with cortisol, how about sharing your own experiences? Comment below on how you've adjusted your caffeine intake and the impact on your stress and energy levels. Interested in fascinating insights like this? Don't forget to check out our suggested video on healthy alternatives to caffeine. Subscribe to the channel for more content that enhances your daily well-being with informed and effective practices.